Hi everyone, and welcome to this 4.0 update. It has been about 6 weeks since we last updated you on how the 4.0 UX project is tracking, and that was an update on our roadmap for the year ahead of us. So we have a lot more stuff to show you today. We've been very busy in the past 6 weeks. First, I will take you through just a little bit of an overview of what we're going to present to you today. And if you recall from the previous updates, we had taken you through the roadmap and our key objective for 4.0. Ultimately, what we want to achieve at the end of August 2021 is that we have optimized the UX for those most critical user tasks within Moodle's LMS. We have refreshed that boost theme to create a more modern and lovable design interface for all of you to enjoy using the most modern and easy to use interactions across the interface. And we're also making sure that through this process, we stick very close to our users, listening and working closely to them, and obviously adhering to a very thorough user-centered process with our product teams. So where we are right now in terms of our projects is we are in mid-October, which is really exciting. We have a couple months under our belt of designing and prototyping building with myself, Barbara and Hina and Alvar supporting the team through, we're tracking on time. So through those three project areas, we now have quite fleshed out prototypes that we're going to be walking you through today in today's update. So the navigation project is really kind of coming to maturity in terms of the direction that we'd like to take. Create a Course is still exploring the number of ways in which teachers can do some of the editing and moving functions, and the Student Do a Course is looking really good. We've got some really good, strong direction on the path that we'd like to take from how we present information on the course level. So just a reminder what these key theme areas for 4.0 are. First of all, we're looking at that navigation piece, is really focusing on how our users search and find the information that they need. Then we've got that Create a Course area, which we're really focusing on teacher admin tasks around creation, course creation, and edit and moving content, making that a lot easier. We've got the Do a Course, which is all about getting to your course, completing activities, finding the information that you need. And that all kind of stems up to that dashboard experience for both the teacher and the student. So how do we make it much easier for both of our users to understand what it is they need to do next, how far along they are with their courses, and how do they manage their time more effectively with the information that we can provide. Then we've got assignments and gradebook coming up as the next projects after we've completed these initial ones. So we'll be looking up at a lot of setup functionality and the experience across that for those two components within Moodle. So where we're at now is obviously we're designing and testing. The team are flat out. We have between one to five people per day who have volunteered their time to be part of this project. And we can't thank our global community enough. We have had partners sign up. We have for testing MUA, students, teachers, administrators, and it's just been phenomenal. All of the testing is being done remotely, and our product teams internally, so our developers have been joining us as well and observing and watching what our users are doing, interacting with the prototypes, with the key tasks that we have set out for them to do. So we're really just focusing on getting that idea out there, testing quickly, and failing fast, so we can move on and keep refining the solution that we're aiming for. And just a lovely note, I was speaking to Barbara yesterday, who's been a UXer here at Moodle for 8 years, coming up 9 years shortly, who's one of our senior UXs. And Barbara said to me, yes, you know, after every single session that we spend with the user, asking questions, listening and observing, I still learn something new. And that is so true. We can't tell you enough how valuable these sessions are to us. And just want to thank all those people who are volunteering their time to be part of this process and inform the design decisions that we're making. So onto the actual designs. This is the fun bit. You get to interact and access these prototypes yourself. So here is the link to those prototypes. I'll take you through a quick demonstration of that now. And obviously, to be part of the discussion and sign up for testing with us, please go to moodle.org/UX. You will see links there to be able to sign up. There's discussions on the forums about the design decisions that we're making. So please feel free to get involved there. And you will also find a link again to this prototype there. When you do click on the link and you get through to the prototype, what you will find is this landing page. And this is a launch pad to get you through to the different prototype sites that we're busy designing and constructing. So at the top, you can see you're able to leave your feedback on ideas that you may have. This is just a survey form. This takes you through to sign up for research form. So if you'd like to be part of the usability testing that we're conducting, please sign up here. It's only an hour of your time. And like I say, we can cater for many time zones around the world. There we have a demo site, which is obviously a Moodle Cloud site, which is just a mock-up of a course that we've based some of our student and admin experience of, but this is the current state. These are the future states here. So if you're looking down here about the prototypes, you will see what it is that we're targeting in terms of that scope. And the navigation, for instance, here we like looking into whether users can navigate course content and find course settings. And part of the student experience is again navigating through course to activity back to course level, and just around the site, can they complete activities more easily than they were able to before? Are we surfacing the right information and all sorts of cool stuff like that? That specific UX for the student experience in that granular detail where you get down to activity level is viewable on prototype site too. So please click on that to see all of that deeper detail. But why we have two sites for the navigation experience is because we're actually testing two hypotheses. So we have two really different ways in which we think the navigation and menu across the LMS could be improved. And that's what we're testing with people. So it's really good to be able to compare those different results right now and see which one is behaving more intuitively than the other. So yeah, we'd love to get your opinion on that. Have a look at those two sites and you'll see what the differences are. I'm not going to give it away. Just look at what you can find is the real difference. It's a huge change from the current state of Moodle. So yeah, give us your honest feedback. Would love to know what you think of the different approaches that we're taking and how this can, you know, benefit you and how we can obviously scale it. And obviously down here we have that teacher admin experience. So this is the one Hina's working on. It's a lot about really getting into the course and actually being able to manipulate content more easily. So editing course, multi-select, drag and drop. It is phenomenally different than the current state. So we really urge you to go have a look at this. We are using some of the most cutting edge, modern UX, UI interaction tools that you can find on the internet right now that we've applied to the interface. So it's a huge change in terms of what we're doing, and really are getting some very good results from the testing up to date on this. So have a look at that, give us your feedback. The next part of this session is a walkthrough from each of the designers to just give you a little bit of a demo so they can explain to you in more detail the rationale behind some of our design decisions. But obviously you are welcome to access these sites yourself when you feel free to do so. All right, so thanks very much for joining me today. I'll hand over to the next part of this session where we will walk through these updates. And thanks very much for listening in, and hope to hear from you all soon. Hi everyone, and welcome to our 4.0 updates. The UX team have been working really hard on some prototypes lately. We've been developing our projects, and we would like to demonstrate some of those design prototypes with you today. So first on the agenda, we have Barbara, who's going to walk you through navigation. And then I'm going to talk a little bit more about the student experience on a course level. And then I'll hand over to Hina, and she will talk to you about how some of the editing tools are going to be changing on the teacher course editing functions. So I'll get started with Barbara, and off you go. Thanks, Barbara.
All righty, thank you so much, Candice. Let me share my screen. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yep, all good, thanks.
Cool. All righty. So as Candice mentioned, we've been preparing a lot of prototypes for the 4.0 release. And for the navigation project, we actually have 2 prototypes. So one first prototype is where you see the home dashboard, My Courses site administration on the drawer, which we are currently calling as the primary navigation. And the other one, just to give you an overview, is where you see the home dashboard, My Courses site admin on the navigation bar. So let's go back to the first prototype. Here on the home page, you would see whatever you see it at the moment, where you have the available courses, categories, courses, nothing, no changes yet on the site home. And then on the dashboard, you would see the recently accessed activities. We thought that having this here is a good idea by default, so that you know exactly where, which activity you last accessed, and that you can easily resume by having it available on your dashboard. And then here we have the timeline view, where you could see your activities due today, or in the next 7 days, next 30 days, or even the overdue activities. And then we thought that it would be a good idea to actually show the grades here, so that students can actually monitor their grades, and if they need to catch up on their courses, they can immediately spot it here on their dashboard. And then here we've also added the calendar and the private files, which were originally on the side navigation or the drawer. So we put them all here, so that everything that has something to do with you personally is on the dashboard. Next is My Courses. Here you would see recently accessed courses and all courses. We haven't really changed much on these blocks. These are pretty much the same blocks that were that are accessible on the dashboard, but we've moved them all here. And so this would allow you to do searching, and instead of having the long list of courses here in the drawer, we thought that by putting them on My Courses page, you can do more. And you can also see the star here on the close proximity to the More icon. We haven't really changed much on this, and we'll be doing more work on both My Courses and dashboard. And here on the site navigation, before that, I'd just like to point out that there is this Create a Course button. This will be visible to teachers with capability to create a course or permission to create a course. Next is the site administration, where it's you'd be able to search, and then this is basically a screen grab. We will still do a lot more research into this on how we can present things in a more efficient way. Now, going back to My Courses, let's check into the permaculture design, where here on the header, within the header, you would see content, users, which is the participants page, and then grades, badges, competencies. Here, you'd be able to edit or enroll users as well, and then grades. Pretty much everything that you're able to do, you will still be able to do. We'll just be doing a bit more research on how we could actually present all this information in a more intuitive way. And then for other settings, you can go to this page where you'd see this cog, and then you would see all the settings for the course, plus the course admin, question bank, and reports. So basically, no regression. You can still access everything that you can access at the moment. And here is where you can go back to your course page. And Candice will be talking more about the details here once I've finished presenting the second prototype. Okay, next prototype is, as I mentioned, where we have the home dashboard, my courses site admin on the navigation bar. You would still, it's still the same. You'd be able to search courses and everything that you see on everything that you can set up on your homepage, you'll still be able to do it here. And the dashboard, still the same content as the first prototype, and my courses. And here, the difference is that apart from having the primary navigation on the nav bar, is when you click on a course, you would have contents, participants, grades, badges, competencies, and other settings on the side navigation bar. Here, you'd be able to switch easily between settings and other features. I think apart from that, we're good. Is that right, Candice? Did I miss anything?
No, that's looking great. Thanks, Barbara. A really good demonstration of two very cool ways in which we can allow our users to navigate through Moodle site as well as through the course. And I'll take over sharing now just to demonstrate a little bit more about the details on the course page. Put that on there. Great. So thanks, Barbara. You should be seeing now, again, I'll use the second prototype version as a demonstration for some of the stuff that's happening on the course page that we've been changing. So as Barbara said, you go through to the courses, you click the link and you get through to a course. Once you're on the course itself, you should be able to scroll down if you access the prototypes yourself, and you'll see some of these activities do have links, so you are able to link through to them. Ultimately, what we've been redesigning here for the course page is taking a step back from how we originally had the activities, which were most commonly seen just an icon on the left, and then the title of the activity, which is a link. And then we would have the mark complete or automatic completion icon to the right. So what we've been doing is really thinking a little bit more about how that information can be displayed. And we've taken the concept of moving the information into an activity card. So it kind of opens up that container to hold more information that's grouped together within what that activity is. For instance, here is book. And it has a new button now, which when you click it, that actually turns into the completed button. So you can interact with it still from this level. We are still investigating the meaning behind that automatic completion and wanting to make it a lot more user-friendly. So one of the concepts that we are playing with at the moment is about completion pending, which means hopefully to the users who that understand this, that there are still some activities that need to be taken by the student in order for the activity to be completed. For instance, I'll show you here, if you click in through to this assignment, What we would like to show on that activity page is a list of some of the things that the student would need to complete, created by the teacher themselves in order for this automatic completion to occur. For instance, you need to view the activity or submit, or to receive a grade. So these are some of the actions that the student would need to take in order to complete that. And once they would complete that, you would expect that this card would turn into completed. We have also included other things like the due date, and would also like to present things like that on the activity page itself. We've also included things like being able to mark complete within the activity. So for instance, here's a book activity, and we have presented that same functionality on the activity level of the page as well. We also looked at the locked or restricted activities experience, and many of you will know that there was before a list of activities that were presented on this level that demonstrated which activities needed to be completed in order for this activity to be unlocked. So we have been redesigning this in a way which just shows a little bit more of what we call progressive disclosure in the experience, which just allows the users to access that information when they feel is necessary to actually understand what it is that they need to do next. Instead of showing all that information up front. Sometimes these lists can get very long. So the idea is to just hide that behind an open and closed view. So we do still have a little bit more to work on this activity. We've been given a lot of great feedback by the people that we've been testing with, that we can do more to improve some of the label around this, and we'll be doing that in the next iteration of design, as we're currently in testing right now with these current prototypes that Barbara and I are showing you today. And with that, I think that's everything from the student course page and the activity redesign. Probably another one around how do students or teachers navigate through the activity course. So we've been looking at different ways in which we can present each section in a navigation structure, basically a drop-down list with the list of items. And if the student or teacher selects one of these sections, that is what will present itself on that course level. And the idea is that if you were to navigate still around the site or backwards and forwards, it would remember that last setting. So wherever you were, so you could always keep that section in focus, because that's the one perhaps that you were aiming to complete. And then you could switch back to view all course if you just wanted to navigate through the whole course itself. So that's about it for course level and activity level and the redesign so far. I will hand back over to Hina, who is going to talk you through editing a course.
Thanks, Candice. So we'll go. So I'm doing create a course, which is about the tools the teacher can use to cut, move activities around the page and topics as well. Right now, so what we're looking at here is a course page. For new users, we've got an empty course page, giving them a little bit of a hint as to what the next step is. So they would want to add an activity. And we're presented with the activity chooser, just like we are now. Sorry about the slight delay. And we add that activity. So the change is that we're providing a little bit of feedback as we go, with the option to undo as well, currently not available. And that can be closed down at any point by the user. So we've got our new activity there. this is, so we have some new icons down the side there. The topic heading, it's got a menu behind that, and the drag option there. So if we were to wanted to add a book activity above the current one, we'd do it that way, and another activity below the current activity would go like that. I'll move on to the next user flow, which is the drag and drop option. Now, based on user feedback, we got the prototype 1 version had removed the drag option, but we've put it back in because for micro movements and adjustments, it actually works quite well. So for example, if we wanted to drag the activity book into sort of below the quiz, do it that way, and you've got book there and in the right position. Moving on to using the actions that are associated with each activity, each topic, and multiple activities and multiple topics as well, which is an extension of what we have currently. So these are your action items, and they're in a little kind of menu. We're looking at, we've looked at reducing the action, so pairing it back into cut, copy, and paste. The reason behind this was the familiarity that most people have with these terms. User testing also showed that they understand the terms better than import, restore, backup, and that sort of language. So we're looking at copying multiple items, and currently you can't actually copy topics. So if we select a topic, you can hit the copy icon and use also the idea here is to speed things up. We're allowing keyboard shortcuts, so potentially copy and paste you could also use your standard keyboard shortcuts. So for PC it would be Control X and V or C and V, and so slight delay. So that's just copied it to the same page there. And we're going to look at a copy to sort of action. It isn't there currently, but based on some user feedback, we will have the copy and copy to. So again, the same sort of thing, but this will enable a modal. You want to copy to another section within this course, so section 10. And we've got that success message with a link to section 10 or topic 10. So you can click that link and it would go to that topic, so you can have a look at what you've done. The last one, I think, is copying to another course. So again, you can multi-select or select the entire topic to copy to another course. And we're going to copy it to philosophy. And there's the success message again with the link to philosophy. So a couple of tweaks that we still need to iron out, which is the sort of behavior of copy and paste. Potentially we're looking at presenting the paste action only when copy is selected, and then adding another action, which is the copy to action, which will initiate that modal which allows you to copy within the course or to another course. Also looking at potentially moving the add section, add a new section out of that menu, so that it might be living below the section, just for better visibility, simplicity, and mimicking these ones on the right. Yeah, so I think that's me for now. I'll stop sharing. Back to Candice. Thanks.
Just on that one, Hina, is it still, you still able to select individual activities within the topic?
Yes, you are. You can select individual topics and multiple individual activities, individual topics with all activities under them, and then multiple activities and multiple topics. The only thing you possibly can't do is select an entire topic as well as individual activities from another topic. And the reason for this is because we cannot sort of say what the user is trying to do. Are they trying to copy the topic itself with all the activities, or are they just wanting the activities under that topic? So,
yeah, it makes sense when the two of those overlap. I get that. That's great. Thank you. That's a heap of information and some very interesting UX from the edit course experience. Thank you so much for sharing that with everyone. Just so everyone is aware, obviously what you saw today was very low fidelities, prototypes that the team have been working on. This allows us to fail fast and fail early, so we can quickly turn these designs around in a matter of minutes sometimes, based on the feedback and the evidence that we're getting from our users when things don't, I guess, behave as they were expected to, or and that's the way we iron out some of these pain points and these friction points in the system. So when you are accessing the prototypes yourselves, which we will share the links with you on the channel that you have found this demo, please be aware that this is obviously not the final product. These are very low fidelity, crude representations of the experience, and that's how we work fast and design as a team using these low fidelity prototypes. And over time, you will gradually see these prototypes building up more fidelity as we start to really cement down what these key concepts are, and they will start to take on more of the visual branding that will get us closer to that 4.0 look and feel, as well as blending that in with the user experience. So yeah, please feel free to give us your feedback on everything that we've shown you today, and the team would love to hear your ideas and thoughts on some of the directions that we're taking. If you would like to be part of our usability testing, please join us on by a recruitment form that we have on moodle.org/UX. So you can sign up to recruitment there and be part of the studies. We're testing 2 to 3 users a day, every day. So we're really deep in testing now and getting constant feedback on improving and ironing out all of these pain points and listening to our users and incorporating all of that feedback, so we come up with the best solutions part of 4.0. So yes, stay in tuned. We'll give you another update in a month's time on how the designs have been progressing. They are changing fast and we're learning loads as we go along. So watch this space. Excellent. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching, and take care. Bye.